This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today here on my own personal YouTube channel. As always, it is very much appreciated. I hope you are all keeping well this Tuesday evening, first day of the Punchestown Festival in Ireland today. And we've also had the Epsom Classic Trial. Plenty going on, but this is going to be a Classic Watch 26 possible video on a horse based in the US of A. But before we start taking a look at all the Classic Watch stuff, as always, I like to mention my Patreon channel at the start of these videos, just to give everybody a chance to let everybody know it's there, really. You know, it's called Newman Racing. It's the place really where you'll find a lot of the national hunt racing is over there these days, and it's also the place that I do a lot of the end of year reviews as well, you know, which are quite important for me because it gives me a chance to dump some horses that have fallen short in order to make way for new ones. Really, it just makes sure that I'm not following too many horses. Really, there's also a few resources on there as well, a lot of free content, a lot of paid content. Just head over there, see what you make of it. You know, there might be something there for you. But there's always the YouTube channel to fall back on if it isn't for you. And there's also classicwatch26.great/site.net as well. The website, that is where people can find the Classic Watch 26 horses this year. 4 theatres so far: South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and South Africa. And you'll see the Roll of Honour coming together quite nicely. Obviously, with it being quite a busy classic time at the moment, Roll of Honour will obviously be added to quite regularly as horses are added to the site. But yeah, classicwatch26.great/site.net is where to head. And you never know, you might well see this horse here, the Puma. A colt foaled on February the 7th, 2023, sired by Essential Quality out of a dam called Eve of War, who herself is sired by Declaration of War. The Puma, trained by Gustavo Delgado and owned by OGMA Investments LLC, JR Ranch, High Step Racing LLC, TCC Stables LLC, and Bruce Zoldan. The horse was bred by Hidden Brook Farm and Brian Kahn. It was consigned at the sales by Hidden Brook and sold to Marquee Bloodstock, an agent, sold for $150,000. So a bit of a bargain, really, it's fair to say. Because if you look at the form of the horse already, you'll see that the horse has had 4 starts in his career, 1 win, 2 seconds and a third, for career earnings of $442,280 American dollars in his career so far. So this horse has paid for himself, really, through prize money. Interesting form as well. People will see the horse actually broke its maiden in a Group 3. On his 3rd start, the horse won the Group 3 Tampa Bay Derby at Tampa Bay Downs after finishing 2nd in a maiden on his 1st start, and then 3rd in the listed Sam F. Davis Stakes on the 7th of February. This horse never raced at 2. It didn't make its maiden debut until January the 10th. Its 3rd start was the victory on the Tampa Bay Derby Group 3, and then on its last start, the horse filled the runner-up spot in the Group 1 Florida Derby, presented by Hillendale Farms at Gulfstream Park. The horse managed to finish 2nd on that occasion. So this is an interesting horse, I think. Group 1 placed, Group 3 winner, a horse that has never been out of the first 3 in his life, sorry. It's also by a stallion I like. Essential Quality is a very good 1X dam line stallion, and that has gone in his favour. You know, I've gave him a little bit of leeway, that stallion, along with a couple of others. But it's good to see that the stallion has got one here on the day, if he does turn up, because you'll see the horse is entered in the Kentucky Derby this coming weekend, on the 2nd of May, 2026. So if the horse turns up on that day, there is a fair chance that you will see this one on Classic Watch 26. I know people like to look at these horses on the Racing Post as well. So we'll take a look at them there. This one is not too bad on the Racing Post, actually. It's actually got every single one of his runs on there. Best racing post-rating the horse has been given is a mark of 113, which I think is the highest we've seen for the Kentucky Derby so far. We had a 6-speed and the other one we looked at, the Secret Tactic, around the 107 mark. This one was given a mark of 113 when he was beaten a nose by Commandment in the Florida Derby. Horse was also given a mark of 110 when he beat Further Ado by 3/4 of a length in the Group 3 Tampa Derby. When he was beaten 6 lengths by Renegade in the listed Sam F. Davis Stakes, the horse was given a mark of 90. He was beaten by Chief Wallaby on his first start. I think they're all going to line up in the Derby. I think all them 4 horses. So he's got good form tied in with a few of these, I think. Javier Castellano has ridden him on 3 or 4 occasions, and he looks booked in for the ride, if you believe Equibase.com, which is like the American database equivalent of the Racing Post. People take a look at the Puma on the Pedigree Online Thoroughbred database, they'll see that, as expected, they're pretty much up to date with a US Derby contender, $442,280, and you'll see that his Group 3 win is on there, also his second in the Florida Derby as well. Good solid job done by whoever updated this. What we're going to do with this horse is we're going to take a look at the first 5 dams of the horse all the way back to 1980. I'm going to try and pick up the odd decent horse that I found along the way. But this horse is interesting for a variety of reasons. We'll touch on them, I think, in the video as we go along. We're going to take a look at the dam of the horse now. I think Eve of War. Eve of War is a mare born in 2017, sired by Declaration of War out of a dam called Special Thanks, who was foaled in 2012 and sired by Broken Vow. Eve of War raced 7 times in her career, 2 wins and 1/3. 3 out of 7 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $75,450 American dollars in her career. An interesting career, Eve of War. You'll see there she was actually 3rd in the Group 3 Monmouth Oaks of 2020, and she won first time out. Horse owned by Hidden Brook Farm and bred by Jeff Treadway. Another horse I found, though, we're going to go on to the next dam, I think, Special Thanks. Special Thanks, a mare born in 2012, sired by Broken Vow out of a dam called Bedanken, who was foaled in 1999 and sired by Jerry. Special Thanks was unraced in her career. Did never, sadly, managed to see the track. But yeah, very interesting, this line. The 3rd dam was decent. Bedanken, a mare born in 1999, sired by Jerry, out of a dam called Danker, who was born in 1994 and sired by Strawberry Road. Bedanken raced 19 times in her career, 11 wins, 1 second and 3/3. That's 15 of 19 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $539,626 US dollars. Interesting mare, Bedanken. You'll see there that at 5, she managed to win the Group 3 Bayou Breeders' Cup Handicap, and at 3, she won the Group 3 Honeybee Stakes and the Group 3 Valley View Stakes. She was also placed 3rd in the Group 2 Mrs. Revere Stakes as well. And at 5 also, she won the Group 3 Modesty Handicap. So this horse is a Group 2 placed triple Group 3 winner. And there's plenty of American Stakes races in there as well that people get bogged down in if possible. Owned and bred by Pin Oak Stud LLC. You know, very decent 3rd mare, it's fair to say. She ran at Group 3 level very well on several occasions, managing to win 4 of them. I did find a few more horses the further we went back. Much Obliged is a mare born in 2005, sired by King Mambo out of Danker. So this is a half-sister to the 3rd dam of our horse that's won those Group 3 races. Much Obliged raced 22 times in her career, 6 wins, 3 seconds and 4/3. 13 out of 22 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $422,371 American dollars in her career. Good solid career, plenty of racing. She was actually 2nd in the Group 3 Boiling Spring Stakes of 2008. She also won the American 1000 Guineas She was placed third in the Group 2 Canadian Stakes as well at Woodbine. So she's won a few of those American Stakes races there and finished placed at Group 2 and Group 3 level. Bred by Pin Oak Stud LLC and owned by Yeguada Centurion. Free Thinking was a sire in Mexico, according to these people. This horse also out of Danker. Free Thinking, a horse born in 2001, sired by Unbridled, out of Danker. Free Thinking raced 29 times in his career, 6 wins, 3 seconds and 3 thirds. 12 of 29 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $322,206 in his career. Free Thinking was placed in 2 Group 2 races, the Firecracker Breeders' Cup Handicap and the Kelso Breeders' Cup as handicap as well. And they were both in 2006 H5. Horse is a sire of Mexican Triple Crown winner, Huit. That's a tricky one, isn't it? Huit Lacoste, Mexican racing. Couldn't find any record of it on Arian or anywhere like that. And JBIS as well. The Mexican Triple Crown is not good enough to make JBIS stick it on their page either. But yeah, this horse obviously sired a few at his level in Mexico. Get Rich Quick, a horse born in 2004, sired by Seeking the Gold, out of Danker. Again, so Danker's done a fair job here, hasn't she really? It's fair to say. The 4th dam of our horse. Get Rich Quick raced 34 times in his career, 5 wins, 5 seconds and 5 thirds. 15 of 34 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $272,566 in his career. Get Rich Quick was managed to finish second in the Group 3 Colonel E.R. Bradley Handicap of 2010 and seemed a bit of a regular in those American Stakes races as well, placed in another 4. Good enough to get him a job at stud though at Florida for 7 years. Entered stud in 2012 at Cocoa Ranch, Florida. And then in 2019 moved to Hacienda Los Netos, in Puerto Rico. Again, sadly, JBIS, I couldn't really find any record of him doing anything anywhere. JBIS, no record of him doing anything either, sadly. But yeah, sire in Puerto Rico and Florida at some point. This horse is quite interesting. Practical Boy, a colt born in 2022, sired by Practical Joke out of a dam called Song of Sixpence, a 2007 bred mare. You'll see there that Danker is the 2nd dam of this horse. Practical Boy, 3 wins, 3 starts in his career, 2 wins and a place. Never out of the first 2, according to this, for 7,318 Russian rubles. This horse has been going round in Russia. Says there the horse won the Summer Stakes in Russia, a Group 2 race at Krasnodar over 6 furlongs. And the horse also won the Group 1 Great Prize over a mile at Adygia. I'm presuming that's spelled. I'm not pronounced. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, Group 1 and Group 2 winner in Russia. Bred by M. Wood and owned by Mr. Krasnokutsky. Interesting horse. Practical Joke. And you see a few side by him for a few quid. Have the Russians got a good one there? 4th dam of our horse is Danker, a mare born in 1994, sired by Strawberry Road, out of a dam called Paloma Blanca, who was foaled in 1980 and was sired by Blushing Groom. This is the 4th dam of our horse, the Puma. We're all the way back here now. Danker raced 6 times in her career and managed to win 3 times. 3 out of 6 in the first 1, for career earnings of $69,930 in her career. Danker, no black type perform, unfortunately, for breeder Alan E. Paulson and Pin Oak Stud LLC. But she is, as we know, the broodmare of Bedanken, the 4-time Group 3 winner that we've already seen. Also half-sister to this horse that I found, Ganges. A horse born in 1988, sired by Riverman, beautifully named horse, out of a dam called, you'd be sorted plenty of rivers, isn't there? Name a few like that. A Riverman out of a dam called Paloma Blanca, the same dam So this horse is a half brother to the fourth dam of our horse, Danker. Ganges raced 34 times in his career, 5 wins, 5 seconds and 7 thirds. 17 out of 34 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of $338,818 in his career. Seemed to do a lot of winning in France though. Look, he won the Group 2 Criterium de Maison Lafitte of 1990. In the US, he won the Group 3 Fort Harrod Stakes, and he also won in France the listed Prix Jabel. Second in the 2000 Guineas of 1991 at Newmarket. He was also third in the Group 3 Prix Messidor as well. Placed in 2 more Group 3 races in France, the Prix de Montry and the Sea of Erin Handicap, I suppose. Sounds a bit like an American race, doesn't it? To be fair to it. Sire in France, it was. And the horse, through this horse here, I found Robin of Navan, quite an old stallion now, group winner, trained by Ed Dunlop back in the day. I remember it going round. You can see there that Ganges is actually on here. Ganges side 50 stakes winners. You know, out of only 100, oh no, he didn't, sorry, 149 foals the horse side, 113 of them ran and 50 of them won. That's how unusual it is to not see any stakes winners. I just looked at it at the first glance and thought, wow, this horse side 50 stakes winners. But it didn't. Only half of its progeny, just under half of his progeny won. 113 of them ran and 50 of them won. Don't know whether it's a jump sire, it don't really tell us anything there, does it? But at least we know that Ganges did sire some horses at some point. Group 2 winner in France. Apolda was an interesting mare, born in 1991, sired by Theatrical out of Paloma Blanca. So again, half-sister to our dam. Apolda raced 17 times in her career, 10 wins, 5 seconds and a third. 16 out of 17 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of $595,663 in her career. Interesting mare, this Apolda. She won the Group 3 in them days at Jenny Wiley Stakes of 1994. She also won the Group 3 Joe Namath Handicap, and she was second in the Group 2 Black Helen Handicap, as well as the Group 3 Saratoga Breeders' Cup Handicap and the Suwannee River Handicap as well. Interesting filly. I think the Jenny Wiley Stakes is rated a lot higher than that now. Might even be a Group 1 race these days. For owner and breeder Alan E. Paulson. Phenomenal strike rate, if that's to be believed. 16 out of 17 starts in the first 3. But you've seen evidence now on this site that they do stop updating if the horse goes off, loses form. Apolda, interesting filly for 17 starts at least. Very good filly. Abrojo was an interesting one I found as well. Another mare, born in 1984, sired by Big Spruce out of Paloma Blanca. So again, Paloma Blanca's bred 3 decent horses here. Abrojo raced 24 times in her career, 7 wins, 4 seconds and 3 thirds. 15 of 24 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of $203,012. Abrojo raced plenty of times, and at the point she did win the listed California Oaks of 1987. She got bogged down in stakes races, it's fair to say. She won 4 of them, but no group race form for breeder French and Beale and owner Laura A. Gill. But California Oaks winner of 1987. We can now take a look at the 5th dam of our horse, the Puma. Paloma Blanca, a mare born in 1980, sired by Blushing Groom out of Satania, a Canadian-bred mare born in 1975 and sired by Ruritania. Paloma Blanca, again, another unraced mare on our line, the second one that we've had. So there's not really much to say about her racing career. I did find some more Group 1 winners, though. If people look at Satania, the 5th dam of this horse, and she would obviously be the 6th dam of our horse. I did find some more Group 1 winners fold this century, courtesy of Dr. Shigeru Hotta's superb book. Kimari, a mare born in 2017, sired by Munnings, out of a dam called Cozy Up Lady, who was born in 2009 and sired by Kazim. People will see that Paloma Blanca was the 5th dam of this horse as well. as the 5th dam of our horse. Kimari raced 17 times in her career, 9 wins, 2 seconds and 2 thirds. 13 out of 17 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of $1,138,827 US dollars. Kimari at 4 was the winner of the 2021 Group 1 Madison Stakes. She also at 5 won the Group 2 Honourable Miss Stakes as well. Second at Royal Ascot in the 2019 Group 2 Queen Mary Stakes as well. She was also placed in the Commonwealth Cup, which is a Group 1 sprint in the UK for 3-year-olds in 2020 as well. But she managed to get the victories in front in Group 4 and 5, Group 1 and Group 2 victories. She also won a second Group 2, winning the Gallant Bloom Stakes over 6.5 furlongs in 2022. Sold in the end to owner NV Magnia, Coolmore, I imagine I've got this one then, for breeder China Horse Club International Limited. Good filly, Kimari was. She flew around that track. The next one is Giant Killing. Giant Killing, a horse born in 2010, sired by Hattrick out of Giants Blondway, a 2005 foaled mare, who was sired by Giants Causeway. People see again that Paloma Blanca is the 4th dam of this horse. So this is a line capable of siring the odd Group 1 winner, excellently proved by Dr. Shigeru Hotta. Giant Killing raced 33 times in his career, 6 wins, 4 seconds and 9 thirds. 19 out of 33 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of $2,415,236 pesos, I'm going to say. This horse, I don't know if it raced in America, it raced to Argentina. The horse won the GP, the Gran Premio Dada Roca of 2015, and it was also 3rd in 2 Argentinian listed races. The horse went to stud in 2018, but sadly died on the 1st of February 2019. It only sired 7 foals that lived. We looked at Studbook Argentina, which did excellent stallion facilities of Argentinian sires. That's a section people are interested in there. Campana Hijos. And if they click there, it brings this page up here. And there we can tell that there's only 7 foals to race, and none of them won. So this line does lack the superstar stallion power that I normally look for in my colts, it's fair to say. But I'm hoping that ours is one, and there'll be sons of this horse, essential quality at stud at some point. But yeah, that's the only place we're lacking, really, is some top class stallions who have shaped the breed, really, with over, say, 60 stakes winners. We haven't really found that yet, have we? The next one we're going to take a look at is Lady of Shamrock, a mare born in 2009, sired by Scat Daddy out of Blushing Issue, a 1994 foaled mare sired by Blushing John. People will see now we're down to Slapton Sands, born in 1964, and she would be probably the 2nd dam of Danka. Yeah, after Satania, you see. So the 7th dam of our horse, Slapton Sands. There's still the odd decent horse coming that I managed to find. Lady of Shamrock raced 18 times in her career, 7 wins, 4 seconds and 2 thirds. 13 of 18 starts in the first 3 for career earnings of $950,400 American dollars. Lady Shamrock at 2 won an American Stakes race. At 3, she was the winner of the 2012 American Oaks. She also won the Delmar Oaks Group 1 as well. The Group 3 Providencia Stakes as well. Placed in the Honeymoon and the Santa Isabel Stakes. At 4, she won another Group 2 race, the Santa Barbara Handicap. 2nd in the Santa Ana Stakes and the New York Stakes. And the John C. Mabby Stakes. All Group 2 races. 3rd in the Group 1 Gainley Stakes as well. Very good horse. Finished 2nd in the Santa Barbara Handicap, but was awarded 1st after Viva Carina was disqualified for interference. Purchased by Work Time at F-Rare for $2 million US in November 2013. They exported with the filly born from the United States to France. In utero, not born. Sent to Ireland and then sent to Great Britain. She's a black type producer, as you would expect from a horse that the Work Time Affair paid $2 million for. In fact, there's a stallion, that stud, Martel is the name of the horse. A colt born in 2019, sired by Frankel, out of a dam called Lady of Shamrock. You see, she's the dam of this horse. Martel raced 6 times in his career, 3 wins and 2/3. 5 out of 6 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of €78,250 in France. This horse managed to win the listed Prix de Lavre of 2022, and the horse was also placed in the Group 3 Prix de Lys and the listed Prix Michel Huevet, before joining the stallion ranks at Haras de Saint-Frey in France in 2023. I think it's siring National Hunt horses, because there'll be a crop soon if there was in jumps, and there doesn't seem to be anything said on there about anything. But yeah, it's an interesting horse. If you look at the damn Lady of Shamrock, she bred a couple. She bred one called Blush as well that won the Group 3. You know, and then we're down to some that was just so far away. But this is a line in itself that I could have shown you all these horses that we'd have got bogged down a bit in American stakes races. That it looks better than what it is. That one actually did win a Group 1. Oh, we're going to show you that one. Royal Chariot. Hang on, Martel though, you see no horses on the ground at this point for him though, sadly. Royal Chariot, a gelding, born in 1990, sired by Strawberry Road, out of Gold Issue. So this one you'll see there, Slapton Sands is the third mare of this horse. Royal Chariot raced 19 times, 7 wins, 3 seconds and 3/3. 13 out of 19 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $659,177. Good horse, Royal Chariot, winner of the Hollywood Turf Cup of 1995. He also won the Group 2 Delmar Invitational, and he was 3rd in the Native Diver Handicap as well, a Group 3 race a year before. Ended up being a 3-day eventer when his racing career was over. Horse bred by Claude Vuitton and owned by D&V Enterprises. Interesting horse. Group 1 winner from the 90s there on this line. The next one we're going to take a look at is Dakota Phone, a gelding born in the year 2005, sired by Zavata. Can't say I've ever heard of that stallion. Out of a dam called World of Gold, who was foaled in 1999 and sired by Spinning World. You'll see there that where we are now, Slapton Sands is the 5th dam of this horse, so we're getting further away now the more we do. Dakota Phone raced 35 times in his career, 6 wins, 7 seconds and 9/3. 22 out of 35 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $1,282,810 in his career. Another good sturdy gelding on this line. Dakota Phone won the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile of 2010 as a 5-year-old. He also won the Group 2 San Diego Handicap, 2nd in the San Antonio Handicap as well. The horse won the Group 2 San Fernando Stakes at 4 as well. So Group 2, Group 1 and dual Group 2 winner. Bred by Cashmark Farms Incorporated and Dakota Stables, owned by Halo Farms, Sidney H. Craig and Jerry Hollendorfer. The horse was given away to a farm employee in 2012 and sadly died a few months later. I'm sure that's purely just a coincidence. Interesting horse. Dakota Phone. What we can do is we can take a quick look at the horse on the historical dam line before I move on, and that'll give me a chance to explain how it will fit into the next video of the next horse I'm going to show you. Because this horse is actually also quite closely related to Zenyatta. If people look at Legendera and Slapton Sands and Satania, that's our line, isn't it? Slapton Sands' sister, called Mrs. Peterkin, that's the Zenyatta line. And also the expensive colt, Sharif Dancer, was a very expensive colt when that was bought at the time. There's also a Kentucky Oaks winner there as well, of 1977, on the same line as a Zenyatta, the Wonder Filly of American racing. You see, this is an interesting line. You know, we're not far off, are we? Very interesting. And that part of the line is actually covered in a previous video that I've done on this horse here. Confidence Game, who was a Classic Watch 2023 possible. Never won the races his pedigree entitled him to, I don't think. Confidence Game, born in 2020, sired by Candy Ride, out of a dam called Eblouissant, who was born in 2009, and sired by Bernardini. So the Vertigna is the dam of Zenyatta. This horse is very closely related to Zenyatta. Confidence Game. Confidence Game raced 20 times in his career. 3 wins, 1 second and 4 thirds. 8 out of 20 starts in the first 3. For career earnings of $823,962 US dollars in his career. He won a Kentucky Derby trial at some point. That's how I got involved with the horse. The horse won the Group 2 Rebel Stakes of 2023. Horse was also third in the LeCompte Stakes. And he was also third in the Iowa Sprint Stakes at 4. He said it's lost the way with him. The horses that started at Hidden Lake Farm from this year, 2026 onwards. It says there, I couldn't find any record of the Venerian, but a bit too early for the American breeding season. I imagine if I check this time next year, he'd probably be there. But yeah, Confidence Game is the horse that I did the Classic Watch 23 Possibles video on. And I will put a link to the Confidence Game video into this video on the Puma, because I do think that it adds weight to the case, and I will put that video in now. And then that will allow us really to move on a little bit from the pedigree side a bit. I think close down a few tabs. And we will now watch the horse break its maiden tag at Group 3 level. That came on his third start on the 7th of March this year in the Group 3 Tampa Bay Derby. Prior to that, the horse could only finish second first time out, like I said earlier, and finished third in the listed Sam F. Davis Stakes. Before, I don't know whether he was the first winner for his sire. I followed a few, but I followed one called Chopsticks, a filly that hasn't been seen all season. That was the one I was looking at. But yeah, this is an interesting one by one of my favourite American stallions, up and coming, hopefully. Group 3 winner, Group 1 placed. Let's watch it win the Group 3 Tampa Bay Derby, and then we will be able to see what we think. Volume boost.
They're in the gate. And the race is on in the S-Mark Tampa Bay Derby. Power Shift hopped just a touch at the start. Redland Rebels was out in good order. Further ado, and talking right between them. Those are the top 3. As Canaletto tries to find his spot. 4th to the outside. Going to be cast out about 4 deep as they run into that turn. And behind them, Hulkamania, Power Shift in on tight on heels there. Just in behind runners. Thunderbuck is after that. Canaletto's about 5 or 6 paths wide now. Roger that, Dana is second last. The Puma is the early trailer. As Redland Rebels and Junior Alvarado to dictate terms. Redland Rebels to the backstretch. 23 seconds flat for the opening quarter mile, so they settle in for that backstretch run. It's Redland Rebels a length and 3/4 in front of Talkin. Further ado, well placed third to the outside. Length and a half more then. Back to Canaletto, who moves up on the outside of Power Shift. Hulkamania stays to their inside. After that is Thunderbuck, who's racing along in that 7th position. The Puma's out of last. Roger that, Dana, the long shot is now the trailer. So there's a half mile left to go in the S-Mark Tampa Bay Derby. 46.68 seconds was the opening half-mile time. It's long shot Redland Rebels, who's led throughout. Talkin is second, pushed along. Further ado, glides up from third. Down on the inside, Hulkamania. Canaletto giving a bit of a cue. The Puma is 4 or 5 wide as they wind around that turn. Redland Rebels, further ado, coming after this long-time leader. Canaletto's 3 deep. The Puma 4 wide and is on the move. Talkin's in behind horses. Hulkamania stays down toward the inside as they wind around to the top of the stretch. The Puma and Canaletto out 4 and 5 wide respectively coming after. Further ado, Redland Rebels still battling on. They're 4 across the track as they come to the 8th pole. On the outside, the Puma. Canaletto, further ado right there. Redland Rebels not done as they have a final 16th to go. The Puma, further ado. These two go on. Canaletto's between them. The Puma's in front late. The Puma wins the Tampa Bay Derby. Second was tight. I think it was further ado over Canaletto. Redland Rebels ran a big one in 4th, and Talkin was 5th.
Very interesting performance that was, wasn't it? I don't think there was much excuse on the day for a lot of them. The Puma has just finished the strongest out of all of them to land the Group 3 Tampa Bay Derby. I remember this race now. I think I chanced the Brant horse in it while I was watching the Bratton horse. It might have been quite short on the day. Canaletto. I thought that was quite a well-bred horse on the day, I think. But yeah, that was a good performance by the Essential Quality side, the Puma, to take the race out
the final
on the day,
time.
wasn't it? I thought. They always seemed confident. The horse was at the back and towards the end, at the start, sorry, wasn't it? But they always seemed confident in their position. At no point did they ever seem worried. And the horse has come very wide round the final bend as well, hasn't it? You know, it's come at least 4 or 5 wide, and it still had the requisite amount of stamina to finish the race strongly and break his maiden tag at Group 3 level by winning the Tampa Bay Derby. Obviously, after that, the horse went on to be placed in the Florida Derby. So he's a Group 1 placed Group 3 winner. So you have to say that the horse is coming into the race in decent enough form on the back of only 4 victories. Can my 1X Stallion win the Kentucky Derby in his first crop? If he does, then I will be pleased, you know. But he's not the only 1X Stallion that I like represented in this race. You know, it's a very tricky race, the upcoming Kentucky Derby. But yeah, I will be on the lookout for some Essential Quality side horses over the next 2 or 3 years, and this is the first of many you will hopefully see. If Classic Watch continues through the years, hopefully this will be the first of many Essential Quality horses you will see on my site, because it's a stallion that I do like, and that is half of how I pick my horses, really. So without further ado, I think I can think about leaving this video here now. Thank you very much to everybody who's taken the time to sit and watch it with me. I hope you all enjoyed watching the video. What I can do at the end of the video is I will leave you a copy of the Classic Watch 26 Possibles playlist. Every single horse in the Classic Watch 26 process is in a playlist on YouTube. Basically, just press play, sit back, and watch all the horses. You know, there's some that aren't even on the website yet that are on that channel. The decent 2-year-olds from last year that I knew I was going to side with. That I tried to get videos done on them early on to get them out of the way, to allow video time for trial winners such as this one. So that will be at the end of this video, and I will also give you all an opportunity to subscribe to the channel as well if you so desire. If you do some work with your YouTube notifications, you can get YouTube to notify you every time I make a video, and you will not miss any moving forward. You know, it can do that. It takes a little bit of work, so I've been told, but it is possible. And what else is there? That's about it, really. I can think about leaving this video here for sure now. Very busy this weekend upcoming. Classic action, really, in 2 places, USA and Great Britain. France the week after with the French 1,000 and 2,000 guineas as well, as the European turf season continues to kick into gear. But I'll think about leaving this video here now. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a fantastic weekend coming up after that. I think it's a bank holiday weekend, isn't it? I think in the UK, if you're into that sort of thing. So a nice time for relaxation and spending it with your loved ones. Look after yourselves and your loved ones, everybody. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I hope to be back soon at some point with some more horse racing content, either on YouTube or Patreon. But for now, I will wish you a fond farewell. Take care, everybody, and goodbye.